Hey everyone, Dave here with another video, and this video is coming out a little bit later than I would have liked. It is going to be a new comic book day haul and recommendations video. However, it's going to be for the books that came out last week. Just didn't have time over the weekend with that Christmas holiday to do a video. And this week I only had 2 books on my pull list. So I didn't even bother to pick them up. I'm going to pick them up next week. But I did want to do a video because I did get a bunch of books last week. So I wanted to show you what I got and give you a couple recommendations. And also to help me out this week, my assistant is going to be good old Sideswipe from the Autobots. So he's here to help me out. But before I get into the comics and everything, I do want to do a quick shout out. Hi everyone, so today's shout out is going to be for AlexBigBlue, and not only does his name share the nickname of my all-time favorite football team, Big Blue, the New York Giants. He's got a bunch of comic haul videos on his channel. He does movie reviews. He's got some top 10 lists that he does. He's also got a series that's called Which is Best. And he also does videos where he answers the challenges from the various channels in the comic book community here on YouTube. Currently, he's got a 450 sub contest going. I'll leave a link to that video in the description box below, as well as a link to his homepage on YouTube. It's a pretty cool challenge, so check out the video, and think about maybe participating in it. Basically, he wants you to talk about an underrated or underappreciated comic character, and also talk about a story in comics that you would recommend everybody to check out. For every 10 entries, the number of prizes increases, so that's pretty cool. And it runs till the end of January, so there's plenty of time to make a video and join in on that. Currently, he's at 451 subs at the time of this recording. So check out his content, and if you like it, obviously drop some likes, drop some comments, and say hi. And most importantly, of course, give him a sub. He's at 451 at the moment, and let's try and help him get up to that good old milestone of 500 subs. I don't think you're going to be disappointed when you check out his content. You're going to like it. Hi everyone, so let me show you which books I picked up last week. And first up we've got Junkyard Joe, issue number 3 from Image Comics. And this is actually going to be the cover B. I'm waiting on cover A and E. They didn't arrive last week, so hopefully they came in this week and I'll be able to get them next week when I pick up. And then we've got Gunslinger Spawn, and this is issue number 15 from Image Comics, and this is going to be the cover A. And then finally, another Witcher miniseries, The Witcher, The Ballad of Two Wolves, issue number 104 from Dark Horse Comics, and this is going to be the cover D. And then we got Something is Killing the Children, issue number 27 from Boom 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 Studios, and this is the cover A. And then we got Vanish, issue number 4 from Image Comics, and this is the cover A. There's also a Spawn cover for this one that I forgot to pick up. Hopefully I pick that up next week. And then we've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Saturday Morning Adventures, issue number 3 from IDW, and this is the cover A. And then we've got Starhenge, Book 1, The Dragon and the Boar, issue number 6 from Image Comics, and it actually says Spawnhenge on here, so this is the Spawn cover for this issue, and this is cover F. And then we've got Blade Runner 2039, issue number 1 from Titan Comics, and this is the cover B. And then we got a few BRZRKR covers, so I always get a bunch of covers for BRZRKR when it comes out. There's BRZRKR issue number 11 from Boom 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 Studios. This is going to be the cover A. And then we got the cover B. And then we got the cover C, which is a foil variant of cover A. And then we've got cover D, which is a foil variant of cover B. And then I've got cover E. And then lastly, we've got a trade paperback. We've got Department of Truth, volume number 4, collecting issues number 18 through 22. And this is from Image Comics. Okay, everyone, so let me give you my top 3 recommendations from this haul. And first up, we're going to go with Vanish, issue number 4 from Image Comics. Let's check out some of the interior artwork here for you. Alright, I gotta hold this at kind of an angle because of the glare, because it's a foil cover. Alright, keep it there. Alright, so this is picking up where the previous issue left off, with Oliver underground fighting some behemoth that's named Battery, and of course getting his ass handed to him. Eventually he makes a slick move and turns the tide. This guy's pretty interesting. He's pretty slick. You know, did the same thing in the last issue, issue number 3, where he just, you know, finds a way to just do some slick move that the enemy's not expecting to turn the tide. Anyway, after which he ends up receiving some disturbing information that causes him to panic and lash out. And he also finds out who Battery actually is. Again, trying to keep these as spoiler-free as possible. Meanwhile, his buddy Deacon is being questioned by Halligan, who is seeking some information about Oliver, and he gives him basically a, makes him an offer. And Deacon, of course, refuses, and they end up getting into a bit of a battle. At that time, Halligan's true identity is revealed to Deacon, which sends him into a fury. And, you know, the fight is pretty brutal and gory. Ends in a crazy scene, the way it ends. You definitely gotta check it out. I was surprised how it ended, and, you know, again, I'm not gonna spoil it. But the book ends, you know, setting up the next issue. You know, it ends on a bit of a tense note, you know, setting up what's going to happen next. I'm really enjoying this series. I'm glad that I picked it up. You know, the art is very good. It's intense. It's gory, especially when it comes to the fight scenes. And the story has been interesting. And, you know, I like how they're dripping in story elements and things from the past, you know, here and there in each issue, instead of just throwing it all out in one issue, or just, you know, waiting until the end of the series to tell you everything. They're throwing it out a little bit here and there. You know, things are slowly being revealed, but not too slow, you know, so it's got a good pace, and I'm looking forward to the next issue. All right, next up is going to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Saturday Morning Adventures, issue number 3. Let's jump in and check out some of the artwork here. This is my boy Casey Jones, and on the cover there. All right. Side swipe. Help me out here. Okay, thank you. All right, so this has been this is a fun little series. All right, it came out, you know, fairly recently. I'm enjoying it. In this issue, you got Casey Jones, who's one of my favorite characters from the cartoon, accidentally stumbling into an area. He's chasing some bad guys, and he stumbles into this area where there's an experiment being done. And, you know, they see him, but they see him at the last second, and they can't turn off the experiment, and he ends up gaining some superpowers, where he's able to absorb electricity from everything, and it makes him incredibly powerful, and he also gets the ability to fly. You know, he uses these powers to go on a rampage against criminals all over the city, but he's also causing damage to the city by absorbing all the electricity. And if you know Casey Jones from the cartoon. He goes after everybody, and jaywalking, and every little thing. He will go after them like hardcore and beat the crap out of them for it. But eventually he comes into conflict with the Turtles, who are trying to help him return to normal. And, as normal as Casey Jones could be. But this has been a fun series. This is a fun issue, okay? I always loved Casey Jones when he showed up in the cartoon, and reading this issue and reading his dialogue in this issue, I found myself in my head just, doing that voice from the cartoon. I love that, his voice from the cartoon, When are we gonna break something? It's like one of the lines that I always remember. It's like stuck in my head. I just remember that line from one of the issues where they're just like holding him back, and then all of a sudden he's like, he just wants to break something, and eventually they let him loose, and he's just like, in his glory. But the artwork is great. It's very cool. It's just like the old school cartoon. Everything looks like the cartoon. That cartoon is one of my all-time favorites from back in the day. I'm sure a lot of other people have fond memories of that cartoon as well. And the writing is decent enough. Each issue so far, they contain stories. So each issue is its own story. And they just play out basically like episodes of the cartoon. Each issue is like a new episode of the cartoon. So this was a fun read, and I'm definitely looking forward to the next issue. Definitely recommend checking it out. All right, and last but certainly not least, we're going to have Junkyard Joe, issue number 3 from Image Comics. Awesome cover right there. It's really awesome. And let's check out some of the artwork in this one. See if I find a good picture of Joe in here. Oh, this is a nice shot here at the end. All right, side swipe. Thank you. Come on, can do better. There you go. All right. So this series is, it's definitely worth checking out, especially if you enjoyed the series that it spun out of, Geiger. That was a nice series to check out. But Joe made an appearance in that series, and they create and gave him his own series now. This is issue number 3. A little background about this one in case you haven't checked out the series yet. Junkyard Joe is a robot who was created and sent into combat with a military unit during the Vietnam War. He initially looks like a human. He's got like a disguise on. Basically, he's got the human flesh and stuff. But then they get into a battle, and during the battle he gets damaged, and that ends up causing the skin to come off and revealing him to be a robot. And they continue on with their patrols and their mission with him, still as part of the team, of course. But he ends up, he doesn't befriend him, but one of the soldiers named Maury, his nickname's Muddy, Davis, tries to befriend Joe, but Joe is just kind of like, looks at him. He doesn't talk or anything like that, doesn't sleep, of course. Eventually, after the war, Muddy ends up making a comic strip about Junkyard Joe. During the war, Joe ends up saving Muddy's life, and then he just kind of disappears. And nobody believes Muddy that there was a robot on the team that saved his life, and also he creates this comic strip dedicated to Joe. And Joe has ended up mysteriously returning to society in this series. And in this issue, he's finally found Muddy at his home. And Muddy takes him in, and Joe starts helping him around the house, cleaning up and shoveling the snow from the bad snowstorm they had. He shovels out his driveway and everything. And the series is also following a family that moved in next door to Muddy. They moved in from out of town. They've recently suffered a loss of a main family member, just like Muddy has. And the kids are running into some trouble in school. And the one girl, Emily, she's a bit of an outsider, it seems. Excuse me. But eventually in this issue, while in the house, Muddy accidentally breaks a cup. And it just causes Joe to freak out and just go into like this full-blown like panic mode, basically. And he starts breaking stuff. But Muddy, he's able to calm him down. Unfortunately though, at this time, somebody else has seen Joe in the house. So that could potentially cause a problem in the next issue or down the line here. We do also see, not in this issue, but in the previous issue, that there are people that are looking for Joe. But this is such a great series, and and this issue here, particularly this issue, it's really showing, I feel like, the effects of personal trauma on people. The kids in the other family, they lost an important family member, and that trauma is affecting them in their relationship with their father, their relationships at school. Meanwhile, also, the horrors of war, it seems, have affected Joe, as in, like, he freaked out when that cup broke, probably thinking that it was a grenade or something going off. But that break of that cup just triggered, like, it seemed like a PTSD in him. But yeah, Muddy's able to show him some compassion and calm him down, because like I showed you, that second image there, it was the last page of the issue where Joe is just like, it's like he like broke down in Muddy's arms. Muddy's just calms him down and tells him it's okay, and they're embracing their, it's a real emotional ending to the issue. You got to read the whole issue. The artwork is just great in the series, and it continues on in this issue, and the writing's been great also. Also of note in this issue and in this series in particular, I'll show you in the back here, they have a thing. This is really cool here, and I'm thinking about doing it myself actually for some family members, where you can actually send in a picture and some information about a family member who has served in the military, and also a short message, and they'll publish it in the back of the issues. Issue number 2 didn't have one, but this issue does, and issue number 1 did. So it's really cool. And also they're big into, it seems, supporting veterans. They're into supporting the services that are looking out for veterans. I have it, I think, back here. There's some advertisements here for it. So it's a really good cause that they're supporting, these ones to help end homelessness amongst veterans. They also had, I'm not sure if they did it with this issue also, but I know first issue, there was a certain one that you bought. If you bought it, it was like a black and white version of the main cover, and like the proceeds went to one of those charities, to help veterans. So that was really cool. I definitely highly recommend this series. And like I said, it's been fun so far. The writing, the artwork's great, and again, this issue pushes a pretty important and emotional message there at the end. And again, they're supporting a great cause, so definitely recommend the series and check it out. Everyone, so that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider hitting that good old like button and subscribing to the channel. If you already subscribed to the channel, then thank you very much. Support's always much appreciated. If you feel like it, leave a comment down below. Let me know what books you picked up, give me any recommendations, or just say hi. Always love hearing from you. All right, and thank you to my buddy here, Sideswipe, for helping me out today. He's gonna go bust some Decepticreeps after this. So until next time, be safe and be well, and I'll catch you later.
Yeah, I'm just